My dad had heart attack and doctors declared that he had died during the journey. I was completely blank and silent. I did not feel anything that was happening around me. I didn't even realize that I was barefoot. I can't express that feeling. I managed to score 83% in the final semester of my graduation. I worked full-time in mall for a year, earning just 9,000 rupees per month. My father always wanted me to live a simple, ordinary life, but with extraordinary purpose. Today, I am doing exactly that. Every freedom starts with the story. This is mine. I am going to share a story which is very close to my heart, my personal story, and the reason why I started. This story has changed my life and also gave me a reason and a purpose to work towards. This story I have written in my book and I'm going to read it out to you. It was the new year 2017. Everyone was wishing Happy New Year and celebrating the beginning of a great year. I was celebrating too, but not too much because I was studying chemistry as a specialized subject in the final year of my science graduation. It was January, the month of preparation for the last semester exam of my graduation, in essence, the 6th semester. January and February were the two most important months of my life because it was going to determine the outcome of my exam in March. I was studying so hard that I slept for only 3 to 4 hours a day during those 2 months. I was preparing for my exam by giving my 200% to achieve a good marks in the final year of graduation. I used to go to college early in the morning at around 7 a.m. After attending all the lectures in college, I used to go to the library at around 1 p.m. and study until the practical sessions, which used to be around 3:30 p.m. After completing the practical sessions at around 5:30 p.m., I used to go to extra classes from around 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Then I used to go back home after this long tiring day. This is how I was living my final year of graduation. I was so certain that I would achieve at least 90% or above in my last semester of graduation. But there was a tragedy that was supposed to happen to make it more difficult. One day I came back home from my extra classes. It was February. To be precise, the date was 11th February 2017. After dinner, I was studying because my exams were around the corner. I used to study till 3 a.m. and wake up early at 7 a.m. But on this particular day, I felt so tired and I decided to sleep early at around 1 a.m. It was a cold day. The environment was extremely silent and cold. I closed all my study material, left it as it was on the table, and went straight to my bed. I used to live in very small house where we used to sleep together in pairs because of the confined space. I used to sleep beside my father. From my childhood till my adulthood, most of the time I slept beside my father. So on that day, as usual, I slept beside him. I fell asleep within an hour because I was so tired, as I mentioned earlier. The time was around 2 a.m. and the date had turned to 12th February 2017. My father got up and said, "Son, give me a side. Let me get out of the bed and I want to go to the washroom." This is what he said exactly. I gave him a space. He was walking towards the washroom and I suddenly heard something slip on the floor. Even my elder brother got up and ran to find out what had happened. I got on my feet immediately as soon as I heard that sound. I ran towards the washroom and looked. It was my father. He was lying on the floor as if he were sleeping, but with open eyes. I got terrified and I screamed, "Dad!" He was not moving at all. My elder brother was calm and he rushed to perform CPR on his chest. My dad had heart attack. My younger brother and my sister, who had visited us the same day, quickly ran to the neighbors to help us out because there was no elderly person at home, and my mom was also not at home. She was at my aunt's house at a different location for her medical treatment. In the meantime, my elder brother was still performing a CPR on my father's chest. Neighbors rushed into our house and tried multiple ways to wake him up. After all attempts, we decided to take him to the hospital. He was still not breathing at all. One neighbor brought his auto rickshaw as there was no other option for traveling at midnight, and they headed along with my elder brother towards the nearest 24/7 hospital, which was around 12 kilometers away. My father was already dead while they were traveling in the auto rickshaw. They reached the hospital and doctors declared that he had died during the journey. I was crying with my younger brother, waiting for the clock to turn 3:37 a.m. because the first local train starts at that time to travel to that location and reach the hospital. I caught that first train and traveled to the hospital. It was the longest and saddest journey of my life ever. I reached the hospital. "Where is Dad?" I asked my elder brother. "In the mortuary. They are preparing the body for autopsy," he replied. I went there and saw him lying on that metal cot. Doctors were writing something on their notepad while looking at the dead body. I stopped crying and asked my brother, "Should I inform everyone now?" He nodded. I called everyone. I called my mom first. It was dawn. Everybody gathered at the hospital at around 7 a.m. and I can't explain how I felt during that night for those 5 to 6 hours. I was numb. I did not cry after that because I didn't know what to feel. or what to react. I was completely blank and silent. I did not feel anything that was happening around me. I didn't even realize that I was barefoot. All my family members gathered and performed the ritual as per our religion. For 1 week, I didn't go to college or extra classes. I had to accept that my father was no longer in my life, and I had to fulfill his wish by completing my graduation with good marks and pursuing further studies. My father was the only earning member of our family. He worked in BMC, Mumbai Municipal Corporation. After his death, we faced a financial crisis as we had a home loan burden on our shoulder. I continued studying for my exams. Only I know how I managed to study that month while carrying the weight of mental trauma. How I control my emotion and focus on my studies. I can't express that feeling. But somehow, I managed to score 83% in the final semester of my graduation. Even before the results were declared, I had started working in mall to earn some money. My elder brother and I had to go out and find jobs due to the financial burden we had. I worked full-time in mall for a year, earning just 9,000 rupees per month. Meanwhile, my elder brother was crushed inside. But yet he did not give up. He applied for my father's position in BMC. After 10 months of processing, he was finally accepted and began preparing for that role that my father had in BMC Corporation. And he got his place as being an elder son. I had always wanted to pursue MSc and PhD in science, as my dad had wished, but the circumstances had changed. I couldn't continue with my higher education. I had to earn and take care of my family. My studies and dreams came to a stop. So I made a decision. I would earn a lot of money, give my family the life they deserved, make them happy, and get rid of the home loan burden that we had on our shoulder. While I was working in the mall, one of my classmates and a good friend since the first year, Nilesh, called me. He referred me for a job opportunity in good company that matched my chemistry background. He was already working there after graduation, while I was still working in a mall. The company was called Skyline Systems Private Limited. It felt like a manifestation. I wanted a better job, and here was this opportunity in front of me. I followed all the instructions Nilesh gave me to apply. I went to the company and gave a terrible interview. I was not prepared. It was my first corporate interview ever. And I thought I had lost the opportunity. Later, Nilesh told me the feedback from the manager and HR. This guy is so underconfident and shy. He is not fit for this position. To which Nilesh responded, "Sir, he will do it. He is smart and hardworking. The only thing is, he was afraid as it was his first interview. But trust me, he will do wonders if he given a chance. He told me this later that day. Finally, I got selected as sales representative. It was a new year, the brand new year of 2018. My joining date was 2nd January 2018. And there was more good news. My elder brother's joining at BMC was on 6th January 2018. What a start to the year. Filled with emotional and overwhelming moments, I was genuinely happy. I felt like life was finally turning around and things were going to be better for my family. And it did start getting better. It was the first day of my job, 2nd January 2018. I was introduced to the entire team at the office and was warmly welcomed by everyone. After lunch around 4 p.m., during tea time, a beautiful girl was distributing a packet of sweets and snacks. I had been introduced to her as well, but I didn't catch her name. I didn't even ask why she was distributing sweets. I overheard someone wishing her a happy birthday. It was on 1st January, but since the company was closed that day, she was celebrating at the office this day. I wanted to ask her name but didn't ask. Instead, I asked one of her teammates, why is she distributing sweets and what's her name? She replied, it's her birthday, which was yesterday, but because of the holiday, she is celebrating today. Her name is Mansi. Oh, I nodded. I walked over to her and said, belated happy birthday. Thank you, she replied. To be honest, I liked her the moment I saw her, on that very first day. Let me describe her to you. She was a simple girl with a simple outfit and nerdy look, square spectacles and one long Indian style braid. A proper traditionally cultured girl, just like a first bencher. She was very work oriented, punctual and ethical person. In a few months, we became a good friends as well as colleagues. I learned a lot under training and guidance. Everything that was required for my job in the company, Mansi used to handle laboratory work and would train the sales representatives, helping them understand the detailed working and features of the instrument so we could sell them better in the market. I had a 6-month internship and 6-month probation period in my first year. So I had a full year in the office dedicated to training and learning everything. 2 more friends joined along with me, Kumar and Praneeth. The 4 of us, Mansi, me, Kumar and Praneeth, we formed a small group. We all became really good friends. We used to have lunch together and take tea breaks at the same time in the pantry room. Everything felt perfect. I felt like I had landed my dream job. I was getting paid well. I had amazing friends at work. I was learning so much and I was genuinely enjoying my job. Sounds too good to be true, right? But it was real. A college boy who had just graduated a year ago was now living the dream, earning, learning and growing. It was the life every fresh graduate dreams of, and I was living it. I truly consider myself to be a very fortunate person. Our friendship grew deeper. We weren't just colleagues anymore. We started going out together on weekends too. Our bond turned into a close-knit, caring circle. I was genuinely happy. Over time, I found myself becoming more inclined towards Mansi. We shared a strong bond, especially because we used to travel back home together after work, taking the same route and the same public transport. During those daily journeys, we would talk about everything: life, work, dreams, struggles. We really got to know each other. We became best friends. To be honest, I started developing feelings for her. I had never had a female friend in my life before because all my focus had always been on my studies and my family. I was 21 year old, and at that age this thing naturally happens. But my feelings were never impure or misguided. I understood that true friendship meant, and I was very aware of my feelings. I respected the boundaries, and so did she. I know she had a similar affinity towards me. Mansi and I became so close that we started sharing everything: our whereabouts, our personal challenges, our wins and our losses. We became more than just friends, but not in the way people usually think. It was divine bond, a pure and deep friendship. I always put her before myself in every way. I thought about her happiness, her well-being, and now we even started traveling to the office together. In short, we had become part of each other's life. 1 year passed by, just like the wind. A new year arrived, 2019. Everyone was in the new year spirit, and so was I. The first Monday of the month came. I was excited to go to the office. I got ready as per my usual routine and left the house with this mindset: new year, new beginning. I've got to do something different this year. That day, Mansi told me she would be going early to the office as she had some pending work to complete. That was typical of her. She was always the kind of person who would reach the office 30 minutes early and leave 30 minutes late if work was pending. So I left as per the usual office time and traveled alone. I reached the office in happy mood. I entered the building and did my punch in at the reception gate. As I walked past the lobby, I heard someone crying softly from the pantry room. It wasn't loud, but it was unmistakable. Instead of heading to my desk, I followed the sound with my bag still on my shoulder and entered the pantry. There, I saw Mansi. She was sitting on a chair, her head down on the table, crying quietly. Standing beside her was our colleague, Reshma. I rushed to her and gently asked, "What happened, Mansi?" She replied softly, "Nothing." I asked again, "Please, what happened? Can you please tell me?" She turned her face slightly and said, "No, I don't want to talk to anyone. Please leave me alone." Reshma, who had been silently standing by her side, finally spoke up. She explained that the manager had scolded Mansi over a small mistake. He was known for being harsh, borderline wicked, and never missed a chance to demean someone. I had never seen Mansi cry before. Watching her like that crushed me. Later that day, during lunch, I spoke with her again. She looked emotionally drained and said, I hate this job, but I don't have a choice. I have to keep doing it. What else can I do if I quit this job? I feel like I'm stuck. Her words hit me hard. My eyes were about to shed tears, but I held them back. In that moment, I felt utterly helpless, like a loser. Because no matter how much I cared for her, I couldn't do anything for her. Like I said earlier, she wasn't just a friend to me. She was more than that, much more. From that day on, one question started haunting me. What can I do for her? What can I do to help her follow her passion? I knew Mansi had a deep love for teaching, academic teaching. She wanted to teach students not to be trapped behind the corporate desk. That thought kept circling in my head every day. I would find myself asking, why does someone have to work forcefully at a job they hate? Why can't people follow their passion? What if there are millions of Mansi out there? What if there is a way out? I kept bombarding my brain with these what ifs questions. That's when thought took root in me. I had to do something. Not just for Mansi, but for all working women stuck in corporate jobs who want to quit and do something they love. This is where my why got crystal clear. But my what and how were still unknown. To give you more context, I learned this concept of why, what, and how from Simon Sinek's book. The book named Start With Why. He calls it the Golden Circle, a framework to work from inside out. First, you get clear on your why, your purpose. Then you define your what, your solution. And finally figure out how, your process. Highly recommended book, by the way. During those days, I read another book, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This book introduced me to a word I had never truly understood before. Entrepreneur. And that was it. Something inside me lit up. I got excited, really excited, exploring this different side of the world. I realized that entrepreneurship might be the answer I was looking for, the way to solve the problem I so deeply cared about, not just for Mansi, but for many more working women like her. I dove in. I started learning more about entrepreneurship, attending seminars, conferences, and business boot camps. I met people from different domains. I joined networking groups and began to understand the game of business. I intentionally surrounded myself with like-minded individuals and business owners. Slowly, my mindset began to shift from that of an employee to that of a creator, a builder, an entrepreneur. Then one day at a seminar, I was introduced to a whole new world, digital marketing and online business. It was June 2019, way before the pandemic. At that time in India, hardly anyone truly understood the digital space. Content creation, email marketing, online courses, etc. etc. It was all so new. The event was called Digital Master Conference, hosted by Success Gyan. That one seminar shifted my entire world. There I learned about online coaching business, and I knew instantly, this is it. This is what I had been searching for, a tangible, realistic, and scalable solution for the problem I wanted to solve. a business anyone could build around their passion. At that event, I met Siddharth Ratsekar, who later became my mentor. I joined his community and started learning everything I could about this space. From June 2019 to January 2020, I immersed myself in online learning, training, building, and experimenting. I invested over 3.5 lakhs in myself and my growth, and I'm still learning every day. I had finally found a way to help Mansi and thousands of women like her. I had my why, my what, and I had started working on the how. But then life took an unexpected turn. I faced a serious medical issue and had to take a break for almost 1 whole year. In February 2020, Mansi got married and left the company. She joined another company and continued to grow in her career in the same corporate field, sacrificing her passion for teaching. We eventually lost touch, and I left that company too. Our separation was another chapter altogether, a story for another time. But despite everything, I never stopped. I never stopped learning. I never stopped building. I never forgot why I started. Mansi became my reason. She gave my vision clarity, and that clarity became my mission to help working women break free from jobs they feel stuck in and build life of purpose. That's why I do what I do. That's why I choose to help working women, and that's the exact reason I wrote this book. For you. My mission is to create a strategic breakout plan for at least 1 million women who are stuck in the corporate world. Women who want to pursue their passion, live life on their own terms, and achieve financial freedom and become truly independent by building a super profitable online coaching business. My father always wanted me to live a simple, ordinary life but with extraordinary purpose. Today, I am doing exactly that. I am living his wish. I am fulfilling my purpose. This is the reason why I do what I do. Every single freedom starts with the story, and this is mine.